right, baby. We are locked and loaded. I am truly excited for tonight's locker room show, you guys. We've got somebody that's after my own heart on tonight. He's doing big things, and we're going to get right into it. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome. This is the Locker Room Show. This is where we talk football, y'all, every Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Labor of love. Now, those that are used to joining our community and our show are used to seeing the great Guru, and he's on his way, baby. Guru's going to be with us to add a little seasoned salt to the show, so he'll be with us shortly. But tonight is about the gentleman you already see on the screen. This is somebody, you guys, that was a bad man. He was a bad man as a player. He has gone on to become a coach. Now he's become maybe even a better coach than player. He is the hot topic in the San Francisco Bay Area because he has just went from powerhouse Sarah to a new school where he's getting the keys, and he's going to be the head man, and we're going to get into that tonight. But this is none other than the great Darius Bell. What's going on, superstar?
What's up, Coach? Thank you so much for having me, man. It's always good to see you.
Oh, man, I was pumped up for tonight, and you saved us in the bottom of the ninth. We needed a great guest, and as a playmaker always does, Darius said, Coach, I got you. I'm going to make a play. So as you guys see here, you know, this is somebody that played at a very high level. Himself was a superstar prep player at Archbishop Reardon High School in the Bay, was fortunate to coach this young man, and he made a lot of plays for us. Championship there, went on actually to Montana State, which a lot of people know, came back to San Francisco City College, then went to UCLA, had a phenomenal career, you guys, and now he's doing big things coaching. So I want to get into it, man. I mean, let's start with the first topic right down there at the bottom, the football blessing. Football has been good to you. It's been good to your brother, Khalil Bell. Many people don't know your brother played in the NFL. Your dad was a great player. So when you think back to what football has done in your life, Darius, what does football mean to you?
Football is open doors. You know, first and foremost, football is family. You know, family is life. But for me, it's open doors. It's open doors, you know, in my career. It's open doors in terms of the relationships I've made and been able to cultivate. It's also a way for, you know, kids to learn life lessons. Me as a kid, I learned so many lessons through the game of football, on how to be a man and how to love another person, and how do 100 people from different backgrounds and different lives come together for one common goal. So it's made me a better employee as well. So for me, football is just a blessing. The sport in and of itself is the most fun sport. I think it's the most intricate sport in the world. But aside from the sport, what it's allowed me to do in terms of building relationships and cultivating a life for myself, football is something that is very dear to my heart.
Wow, man. And obviously so many people have benefited from you coaching and as a player. You made our wins a lot more juicy when we were at Reardon. You know, you've got a bright future still ahead, which I want to get into as well. When we go to the next phase of Darius Bell coaching, obviously the great Pat Walsh, you were under at Sarah. What does that next chapter look like? Because now you're the one making all the decisions. What does that next chapter look like?
It's going to be growth for me. It's definitely going to be a process. You know, I don't intend to come in and be the best at it right away. I think the only thing I know as a coach is that I know nothing. But, you know, part of why I went to Sarah so I could learn under Patrick. You said it best. Patrick is legendary. The program that he's built, the men that he's created, it's something that, you know, from afar, I always awed or was in awe of. So to come over there and to learn under him, you know, we spent 8 great years together, essentially climbed the mountaintop, especially of Northern California football. But I learned so much. I learned so much about the game of football and the work it takes to attack the game and the game plan. I learned about love and humility. And I learned that football ultimately is so much bigger than the sport itself. And it's a way for kids to grow. It's a way for kids to learn. It's a way for kids to love, to compete, to do all those things. So, truly blessed to be at Sarah for those 8 years and to learn under Patrick, because I went there for a reason, and he was that reason.
Wow, that's amazing. And I know I talked to Coach Walsh before the show, and he said, "How's my man doing?" I said, "We're about to go live." He said, I'm tuning in. He's locked in. So you guys, we've got a special show for you tonight. And once again, this is somebody that is near and dear to my heart. I've known him since he was a teenager, had a chance to coach him in high school for 1 year, won a championship, CCS championship at Archbishop Reardon High School, and then have been admiring his journey ever since. So very pumped up about tonight's show. Let's get into the next topic, man, because and for those that have been with us before, Guru will be right with us shortly. But let's get into the next topic, Darius, because a lot of people may have heard that you played some ball, but they didn't know you were actually one hell of a quarterback, man. You broke records at both of our alma maters. You went on to break records and become an All-American at the junior college level. Then you got recruited. We got recruited by the same person, different schools. You got recruited by Rick Neuhisel to go play quarterback at UCLA, and then you ended up switching. You ended up switching to receiver, and just because of the phenomenal athlete you are, you became one hell of a receiver and an athlete for UCLA. Talk to me for the young man that's watching this or will watch this, and maybe he just got to a university and they're trying to switch his position, or maybe he's a senior in high school, the coach is trying to switch his position. What's the mindset on whether or not a young man should switch his position?
I think first and foremost, you just have to be real and honest with yourself. Not only about the talent in which you possess, but the way you're viewed in the organization. To be quite frank with you, I felt like I was talented enough to play quarterback at UCLA. And there's coaches there that'll tell you the same thing. That tell me that to this day. But our coach didn't really want a 5'11" quarterback, and I knew that. He had Brock Osweiler at Arizona State, who was 6'7", and he liked the big guy that could see over the pocket. So first I'd say having that talk with myself, am I good enough to play here? I felt like I was, but did I feel like they viewed me as good enough to play here? And I felt like they didn't. So for me, I had long talks about it with my family, my father, especially. But what kept me at UCLA, to be completely honest, was the education and the academic lore of it. I was a year away from graduating from a top university in America. So I was willing to do whatever it took to get that UCLA degree. Because although I loved playing football, football was always just an avenue for me to get, an education and to do what I truly love, which is to coach. I've known I want to be a coach since the day I was born. So, with that being said, that's kind of how I approach that.
Wow, that's amazing right there. So you were focused on your intent, and then that helped you make the decision, and UCLA was a key factor in what you want to accomplish long term. Okay.
And I know that
all right. Go ahead.
And there's some kids out there that will definitely look at that story and say, that's not me. There's some kids that are going to go all in on football because that's their dream and that's their aspiration. And what I would say to those kids is don't sell yourself short, but read the room. At the end of the day, we are kids, we are players. We don't, the only thing we control is our effort and our attitude. We don't control who plays us. We don't control what they like. So I would say to the kid that's like my brother, who it was the NFL or nothing, follow your heart, but also make sure you're smart enough to understand what's going on around you.
Well, amazing. That's why we wanted to have him on, you guys. And as you can see, the great Guru has joined us, dipping and dodging through traffic. What's going on, Guru?
What's going on, my guy? Like I said, it's Houston traffic can get a little hectic, but we up in here, so it's all good.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, baby. We are rocking.
Absolutely. It's good to see you.
Sure.
We are rocking and rolling, and once again, we've got the great Darius Bell, somebody that I was fortunate enough to coach in high school, D1 player, noticed it day one. He was already a D1 player before I got to him, and then now he's coaching D1 players. He's cranking them out. He's cranking them out, you guys. So on to the next topic. And Guru, since you just got with us, we'll start with you on this one, brother. One of my old coaches, my special teams coach at the University of Colorado, legendary coach at Montana, Coach Bobby Houck. He said last week, Guru, that he was retiring. And right here, he even doubled down and he said it's not enjoyable anymore. And he wants to go kick up his feet. And then 5 days later, Guru, he said, you know what? I changed my mind. I'm going to go take that job over at Illinois as the D coordinator and get a big bag. And, some people feel a certain way because signing day just passed and some kids signed up to be coached by him. And now he's somewhere else. And then also at Drake University after signing day, the coach at Drake said, you know what? I'm done with this football thing. So talk to me, Guru. What stance do you take? Can a man make a decision for himself any time of year? Or do you think there needs to be some deadlines on when a coach can hang it up?
Well, I wouldn't say it's so much some deadlines, but I mean, in those situations, as you can see, Coach, hey, man, money can change a man's mind real quick. I think maybe that his situation in Montana was what we're seeing with, we've had these conversations even off the air, is a lot of these other schools, like, it's like Toledo or Ohio or schools like that, they're stepping stone. They've become stepping stone schools for a lot of these kids as far as opportunity. So that can get frustrating to a coach. So from him going to Montana to Illinois, that's a little bit more notable. That's giving them a bag where he can, Illinois is a school that could be an end all be all for a lot more kids versus Montana. Let's be real, right? So Illinois isn't what you would call a stepping stone program. So I think, me personally, you're going to see a lot of that. That's not going to be uncommon is, yeah, man, being able to, be at an upper echelon school and you're getting a bag, I'm sure he did change his mind real quick. That didn't take long. All it took was a phone call.
Talk to me a little bit, Darius, because you've been a recruiting coordinator and you've gotten to see these kids' emotions around recruiting. As somebody that's coaching some kids at high school level, do you feel a certain way if you send a kid off to a school and then the coach leaves right away?
Yeah, I think so. But I think college is vastly different than high school. College is a business at the end of the day. Those men are trying to feed their families. But that's part of the reason why I do high school and haven't made that jump yet, because I still care about the aspect of relationship building. I'm not here to turn my back on kids. I want to embrace kids, help them through this process. I get them for 4 years. These coaches don't get kids for 4 years anymore. They get them for 1 or 2 because, like I say, and this is no derogatory term towards JUCO, as you know, I went JUCO, but every small school is a JUCO now. They don't have the funds to compete with those big schools, and so they are stepping stones, just like JUCO is. And that's no disrespect to the game, but that's just what the game is right now. So when you're at a school like Montana, you're at a school like, Portland State, you're always going to be chasing the same thing that those kids are chasing, and that's a bag. Because morals kind of go out the window when you step into that college world and into that NFL world. Yep. High school world, morals still exist, and having character and integrity means the world. And that's why I'm still here and not at that role yet in the college level, because I don't want any part of that world right now.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. And, it's a different ball game, you guys. You got to see that the models change. So with that, like Darius said, it's big business. It always has been, but the portal and money change things. So appreciate you guys sharing that. And some of you young athletes, don't take it personal. We've been through coaching changes. Don't take it personal. It's not about you. You got your foot through the door. Make it happen. We're on to our next topic, and this one is very, very special. Darius has been an offensive coordinator. He's been an assistant coach under the great Pat Walsh for so long and done well. They've won championships together. And then now you've decided in the same conference, a powerhouse conference, decided to go to Sacred Heart. Been a little bit under over the last few years as far as wins and losses. The WCAL conference is the West Catholic Athletic Conference. It's probably the top conference in Northern California. Right here, you have a quote saying, "I want to change the game of Sacred Heart and how they're regarded as a football program." For people to tell me that I can go to Sacred Heart and you can never win, I took that as a challenge. Why do you feel you can win at Sacred Heart?
Well, I feel like they've had a good run. I know Coach Antoine Evans really well. Coach Antoine's a good guy, but same as Rick Neuhisel at UCLA. Sometimes change is needed. It's no knock on the coach, but sometimes just a new presence is needed. And my presence is going to bring a disciplined culture. It's going to bring a different way, an approach to looking at the game, but more so holistically. Being involved every day, daily habits, being a part of the community, being great students, being better sons, eventually being better fathers and better husbands. There's so much more to it than just winning football games. But I'm a big believer in the process and being process oriented. And when you do things the right way, the scoreboard will speak for itself eventually. So my first 90 days are all about shifting the culture and shifting our kids' idea of success and what it means to find success.
That's amazing right there, Darius. And when you look at the X's and O's of football, where does a coach start when he gets the keys to a new program? Is it, I got to find my quarterback? Is it a powerhouse running back? O-line? Where does the coach start?
Well, I think this quarterback is vastly overrated. I mean, this position is vastly overrated. But it is very important. It's the most important position still in football, even though I say that's quarterback. When you have a good quarterback, you can win games. Now, obviously, you need a great defense, but having a great defense is kind of common knowledge in the sport of football. If you have a great defense and you have a quarterback that can manage the game, take control of the ball, be efficient and effective, then you can win football games against teams that are much better than you. I believe that Sacred Heart has a bunch of talent. I don't like losing. I want to make that very clear. It's not what it's all about, but I'm not a loser. I'm very competitive. And they have enough, in the shed to go out and compete right away in the WCAL. And in my opinion, compete at the highest level. What they have on the roster and what I'm bringing in coaching staff wise, I think that, and the admin has changed. The admin feels very strongly about, being a good football team, doing things the right way. I don't want to be a team that brings in 30 transfers. I want to build kids from the ground up, 8th grade on, and the school shares that vision. Collectively as a school and as a head coach, we feel very comfortable and confident in the direction this program is going. And, I'm thrilled to be the head guy, and I'm thrilled to bring in these coaches that, I'll be announcing here shortly that will help me guide the ship in the right direction.
Yes, indeed, you guys. This boy is giving me goosebumps. Seeing him express his vision, which I know is going to be dynamite, and I know it's going to come to fruition. I'm going to have my popcorn ready, but definitely excited, man. We are on to our next topic, and I see the great HB coming in. That's a Reardon alum. He says, was the culture bad at Sacred Heart? Depends on who you talk to, HB, but it's not going to be anything that's not copacetic with this man in the middle coaching things up. We are on to our next topic, and Guru, we're going to throw this to you because we're old school Big 12 guys. Right. And this guy, Matt Brown. Yeah, good old Matt Brown. He's on the podcast, and he said, hey, things are different. Now you got to pay the players. He said, I've been talking to Sarkisian. I've been talking to some of the other big-time coaches, and he says there's a new model. There's a new model where they're focused on paying the top 44 guys, 50 guys, the guys that they feel are going to be in the 2 deep, and they don't really care as much about the end of the roster and how much they're paying those guys. And I want to ask you, Guru, what's Guru's approach? You're a GM, let's say at Georgia Tech, and you got to give $20 million.
Right.
Are you focused on only the 2 deep, and you got to pay the big time quarterback all he wants, or are you gonna spread that money a little bit further throughout the roster?
I'm going to spread it throughout the roster because this is football. And if you go that route and you only pay your 2 deep, you got to think about it. Your third stringer could end up being a starter at any time. Dudes go down all the time. Or your 3, you can be a 3 and end up a 2 tomorrow, just like you can be a 2 and end up a starter tomorrow. So why would you do that? Why would you ever do that? So absolutely spread the bread around. Now, I'm not saying that, I get it, like as far as, with the ones, okay, you pay, but you have to spread it out at least so you keep your 3s happy because you're going to need them at some point, man.
You're okay.
It's football.
You're okay. Maybe not getting the number 1 receiver, the number 1 quarterback, because you got to save some of that money, or are you thinking, hey, no, I got to get the number 1 guy in the market?
No, it's one of those things where, man, look, when you talk, especially if you're talking about a school like that, like we're looking at Texas, man, they can always find more money, man. So that's not the issue at all. But again, I'll say it again. You can't be where you don't pay your 3s because think about it. If you're a 3 at Texas, that means you're a 1 somewhere else. So if you have your 3s that start leaving, your depth gets thin. So your 1s and 2s are getting paid. But if somebody goes down, you're in a world of hurt. And again, we're talking about Power 5 football. Somebody's going to go down at some point.
Okay. Talk to me, Darius. I mean, you just said quarterback is huge. And college football, quarterback is huge. Are you okay paying a little bit less and getting a bargain quarterback, number 1 receiver? Or are you going all in on quarterback, receiver, left tackle?
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
I wouldn't say I'm going all in on any position, but I would say I would treat the quarterback position with a little more care. In my opinion, you spread it out is the way to do it. In my opinion, what Curt Cignetti did at Indiana should be a model for a lot of coaches. The reality about football is there's so many players that are overlooked. There's so many players that don't get offers because they're not 5 stars or 4 stars or 2 stars or whatever it may be. And what did Curt Cignetti go do? He went out and got hungry kids who played at lower levels to go play against the big boys and win. You know what I mean? So his approach to the transfer portal and to NIL, all those guys are getting a little piece of something because where they came from prior, they were getting nothing or very minimal. So if you just throw a little something at them, now they're going to go want that. They're obviously playing at a much higher level. Who wouldn't want that? And he essentially built his team with JMU's former team. A bunch of guys that were overlooked and guys said they couldn't play at this level, and they just went out and proved the whole world wrong. So I think the way to do it is to spread the money out and keep everyone happy, because if one guy's driving a Ferrari and one guy's riding his bicycle to practice, there could be a problem with that too.
Yes, indeed. No, that's great feedback right there, you guys. And this is going to be interesting because Darius just brought up what Indiana did. They've done it last 2 years in a row. They've been pretty legit. Thanks. We're going to see if they can do it year 3. But what's the model that your school chooses? Is it to go all in and have some big names at the top in my 2 deep? Or is it to spread it out a little bit, to spread it out? So it's going to be very interesting to see what these teams do. But Matt Brown says, give all the money to the top 44, 50 guys out of 105. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe that's the old school approach, but we'll definitely see how that pans out for Texas. Arch better not get hurt, and Cam Coleman better not get hurt. So we are on, you guys, to our next topic, and this is going to be a fun one. We've actually had Darius on before, and he's been through the lightning round. But if you're joining us for the first time, the lightning round is our version of word association. Our guest has 60 seconds to get through my list of people, of things, either or. And we don't just do this for fun, ladies and gentlemen. So we have a dinner. Me and Guru are invested in this. And I know Darius probably likes to have some good food on his plate.
Amen.
I know that. Yep. So we owe him a dinner. If he can get to 15 or higher, because we got the great Garrison Edwards out of Georgia going to Naval Academy. He got to 15. And then we've got the Super Bowl champ, Marvell Smith, who got to 15, used to be with the Steelers. So 15 is the number, Darius. If you can get to 15, okay. You got a dinner on me and Guru. We'll probably put about $100 limit on it. I don't know what you want to eat, but about $100 limit.
You're going to need to put a limit on it for me, Coach.
All right. The man's truthful. He's always been a truthful quarterback. All right. So 60 seconds Darius has. He has to say, you guys, the first thing unfiltered. Some people watching this might be on this list. Unfiltered. He's got to say the first thing that comes to his mind. He's got 60 seconds, y'all. Let's see if he can get to 15. Now he gets one for tech delay. Then we got our twist. We got our new twist at the end that you guys will find out about soon. So 60 seconds. You ready to roll, superstar?
Do it.
All right. He gets one for tech delay. We got a dinner on it. All right. Number one. First thing that comes to your mind, playmaker, don't elaborate. Number one. Patrick Walsh. Go.
Legend.
Chicken sandwich or fish sandwich?
Chicken sandwich.
Best player you ever coached against?
Teddy Buchanan.
Matthew Stafford or Josh Allen?
Matthew Stafford.
Cancun or Miami?
Cancun.
Favorite movie snack?
Popcorn.
Scuba dive or hang glide?
Hang glide.
The transfer portal?
Terrible.
He's cooking, you guys. The WCAL?
Competitiveness.
Hassan Mahassan?
One of the best in Sarah history.
Favorite football movie? 50 seconds.
Remember the Titans.
Julius Peppers or Myles Garrett?
Myles Garrett.
Favorite player growing up?
Barry Sanders.
Time. We'll get to him.
Yeah.
He was cooking.
Yeah,
all right, you guys. So we're going to add them up and we're going to revisit. Remember, 15 is the number. He gets one for tech delay. Then we got the twist at the end. He's in the ball game. All right. Number one, Pat Walsh, the coach that he just came from coaching with at Sarah. He says legend. Yes, he is. Number two, chicken sandwich or fish sandwich. He says, give me the chicken. Number three, best player you ever coached against. He says Teddy Buchanan. Number four, Matthew Stafford or Josh Allen. He says, give me the old head, Matthew Stafford. Number five, Cancun or Miami. He says, give me Cancun. Number six, favorite movie snack, the tried and true popcorn. Number seven, scuba diver, hang glide. He says, put me in the air, coach, hang glide. Number eight, the transfer portal. He says, terrible. Number nine, the WCAL, the league that he's going to be coaching in, competitive. Yes, it is. Number 10, Hassan Mahassan, one of his old superstars from our program. He says, one of the best to come through Sarah. Number 11, favorite football movie. He says, remember the Titans. Number 12, Julius Peppers or Myles Garrett. He says, give me the young Myles Garrett. And then number 13, favorite player growing up. He says, Barry Sanders. So with the tech delay, you guys, he's in the mix. With the tech delay, he's got 14. The number's 15. Now, if you guys haven't been with us, you know we got a new section to the show. And the new section to the show is Strike It Gold Trivia. And with Strike It Gold Trivia, if you get the trivia question right, you get 2 points. So we've got a two-way tie with the great Garrison Edwards and Marvell Smith at 15. But Darius is at 14 with a chance to break the tie, baby. Break the tie. So, Guru, do you got a trivia question for us, my brother?
Of course I do. Of course, my man. So the trivia question for the night is, who is the only NFL QB to throw for 5,000 yards for 2 seasons in a row? Now, this is a hell of a list right here. Again, for 5,000 yards for 2 seasons in a row. We got Matt Stafford, Drew Brees, Mahomes, and Manning. So who's it going to be, Darius?
Drew Brees.
Is it
Damn,
Drew
that
Brees,
boy good.
Guru?
Boy, that boy good. Man,
The correct
we got a new
answer
leader.
is
I couldn't even get it
the
out my
correct-
damn mouth.
the correct
I
answer
pay
is
attention to
Drew
that position. I pay
Yeah.
attention to that position, baby.
He
Man,
pays attention to the position,
Obviously. Obviously.
that's why he was legit at the position, because he pays attention to it. You guys see the slide right here. Reardon rings bell and goes for the first title. So everywhere this man played quarterback, he was the man. So he pays attention to the position. He says Drew Brees. Now here's the interesting thing about it. 2008 and 2009. Literally the same exact yardage, ladies and gentlemen. 5,069 yards each year. Maybe he stopped the second year because he knew he had tied his record. But yeah, Drew Brees, the only player to throw back-to-back 5,000 yards. So that means Darius is at 16. That's the way it should be. One of my very own at 16. And if that's a sign of what's to come, you know this boy's going to winning at Sacred Heart. If anybody has any questions for Darius, please put them in the comment section right now. But I've got one for you, Darius. When you think, man, about all you've accomplished, because you've accomplished a lot as a coach, mentor, and as a player. I know you've also taught. What are the things that are at the top of the list for you when you think about what you've accomplished, man?
It's always going to come back to the relationships that I've built with these kids, what they mean to me. I look at every single kid that I coached as a son of mine. I would do anything for them. I have kids coming to my house that graduated 8 years ago, 12 years ago. My wife says this is, it's unbelievable how many kids are visiting you still to this day. And that's what I do it for. Like I said, football's fun and we're going to win games because we're going to do things the right way every single day. But the relationships that you are able to make, the relationships I built with the coaches from Patrick, Patrick's a father figure to me. He's more than just a coach. He's more than just a friend. He's my family. The people that I've met in the communities of Riardon, Sarah, and now Sacred Heart, I want them to know that we're going to be a family, and this is far beyond just the game of football, but rather the game of life. I'm a huge proponent of that, and they're going to see that firsthand.
Wow, man. If you are someone that is already at Sacred Heart Cathedral, or you're considering Sacred Heart Cathedral, you wouldn't be making a bad choice. And once again, this is somebody that I love. I've seen grow. I've seen mentor. I've seen put his all into what he does. And I'm just elated, man, at what you've accomplished. So keep the journey going. Let me make sure we don't have a question here. We got the great Mark Rosillo coming in. I know earlier he said some legends on the screen. He says steak sandwich or pastrami fry. Mark's down for some food too. I know
he knows what time it is. He knows what time it is.
Well, that pastrami sounds. Pastrami sounds good right now.
We go to the refuge. We'll go to the refuge. That's where me and Coach Mark go.
Pastrami.
Go get Guru started. And then we've got the great, I believe that, yes, the Criswell family. We love you guys. Good evening, Coach Wood. Tell Mr. that's Criswell. Yes, indeed. And obviously his son played wide receiver at Riardon High School with Darius and was a great player, great Aaron Criswell. So thank you guys for stopping through. Big Will coming in saying good evening. Who are the players you've coached against at SHC, your top three? That's a good one. So maybe he and it's at Sarah. Some of the great,
I would say,
you mentioned Teddy.
Jerry Mixon would be up there. Zahir Young, O-line, D-line, who was phenomenal. And, and I have a little bit of a CTE, so I'm thinking more newer guys, but R.L. Miller was one hell of a football player as well.
Yes, indeed. And the great Zaire, we love you, baby. That's one of our own, and headed off to UCLA and doing big things. So your alma mater. So Darius, man, love you to death, brother. Keep
Love
kicking
you, Coach.
ass and keep
Thanks for having
serving
me.
on a high level.
Thanks for having me,
Yes,
fellas.
indeed.
I appreciate you guys.
My man.
All right.
For sure.
Yes, indeed. All right, you guys. Well, hey, that is the great Darius Bell. Q, you know, we getting old, brother. We seeing the young ones come up and lead the way.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. And it's good to see, man. When you look back, you know, like you have, man, it's like you know you did something right when you see the youngins coming up, man, and what they growing into, man. So it makes you feel good too.
Yes, indeed. And we are so proud of Darius and what he's accomplished on and off the field. It's just beginning for this man. And you guys, if you're in the Bay Area, keep an eye out on Sacred Heart Cathedral. You see the article here. They got the right guy, and they sure did. And we'll definitely bring him in for a recap, Q, and see how that first year went and how things are going for Darius. Sure. What was your opinion on the Super Bowl, man? You sit back and watch the Super Bowl?
Yeah, man, I kind of faded out, man. We seen better, man. Like, I mean, I didn't have a dog in the fight, but it's one of those things where it was like, you know, that's it. It was this, man. You know, so hopefully, man, I tell you what, though, and I'm biased, of course, but be on the lookout for KC to make a comeback, man. If nothing else, because Coach Bieniemy is back in Kansas City.
Good point.
It's about to go down. With him going back, be on the lookout for them, because they're gonna make a hell of a comeback.
Good point. And Q, I know you've been working on some things, baby, as far as trying to serve yourself. And unfortunately, I don't have the slide up, so we will have it next week. You guys will have the slide, but this man is doing some big things. Q, you want to talk to the people about what you're doing?
Absolutely, absolutely. So the guru then wrote an ebook, right? It's called Beyond the Gridiron: Brand Building for the Amateur Athlete. And the way I wrote it was, my mother was in education. She was a teacher for 35 years. So I understand that kids have a short attention span. So it's a very easy read. It's highly illustrated, but it's not that long. It's only 20-something pages, but it's a lot of sauce and bullet points that's compacted in those 20-something pages. So it's for parents, but it's really—
Give it to me one more time. Beyond the Gridiron.
It's on Kindle. Yeah, it's Beyond the Gridiron.
I'm gonna try to pull it.
Brand building for amateur athletes. I'm sorry, brand building for the amateur athlete.
Love it.
And you can find it. You go if you find me on IG at Q the Guru 7, and the link is in my bio, and click on that. It'll take you right to Kindle, Amazon Kindle, the Kindle store. You can click right on it, buy it from there. It's $9.99, so obviously it's super affordable, but it's some good sauce in there. I'm looking to make a series to build on this one, but for starters, man, it's a good, easy read, and it's some, like I said, some good sauce in there. Y'all check that out.
Brand building's huge. Brand building is huge.
Absolutely.
You know, it can put some dollars in your pocket. For some of you guys, you need to learn the brand building that can help pay for the college. If you're not on a full ride, it can help pay for the college. We got HB coming in, and for those that don't know, these two gentlemen know each other, so don't think it's a hater in the comments section. But he said it's called Getting Bigger Glasses. And HB, we're gonna get you for that, brother.
Yeah,
we're gonna get you for that.
We talk about big ass foreheads in the next chapter. The next volume will be about
now you got these two going. They know each other from their great arena football, man. So yes, indeed. We love you, HB. So fabulous show tonight. You guys run that back. And then once again, if you are in the Bay Area, keep a close eye on Darius, Sacred Heart. We're coming back next week, you guys. They're lining up now that the season is over. All of these top guests are lining up, and we got some great people bringing your way. So make sure that you hit that subscribe button so you can be notified when we're back live with you. Also, check out beforeyougopro.com, you guys, if you do need some recruiting support and you need some love in that direction. And then also, we have NIL LLC, where, like Guru said, you can learn how to build your brand the right way, baby. That's going to put some money in your pocket. Guru, anything for the good people before we get out of here?
Man, just understand, man, the off season is very short. Stay healthy. Make sure you eat right. Make your grades, man. Stay out of trouble. And before you know it, a lot of guys, man, be going into track season, man. If you on the fence about it, man, especially if you a skilled position, unless you a bona fide baseball player, man, get your ass on that track, man. Okay. Get on that track.
I'm going to drop the mic on that one. You heard the Guru.
Flat out.
We love you. We'll see you guys at the top. Have a good one.